My friend, you have found these words not by chance, but by divine orchestration. I, Archangel Michael, have been clearing a path to your spirit for what feels like an eternity in your time. This is the moment you can no longer glance away from. Hear me, for if you dismiss this call now, the echo of this choice will follow you all your days. I do not speak to invoke fear, but to convey a solemn truth. Your soul has been whispering into the void, seeking a sign, and I have been answering, with dreams, with softened hearts you encountered, with sudden knowing you dismissed as imagination. You have said, tomorrow, too many times. Your now has arrived. This is the final, gracious attempt to reach your spirit before a pathway of light seals itself away. You may not see it, but the choice before you is tethered to a legacy of grace written for you before the stars were named. These blessings have hovered at the edges of your reality, waiting for your permission to descend. But they cannot land until you cease fleeing from the truth you carry within. You have felt a gathering in the air, a change in pressure, a silent summons. This is it. And if you turn from this, child, you will weep not just for sorrow, but for the wholeness you never knew was within your grasp. This is my voice, Michael, and I address you with the full weight of celestial urgency. I have witnessed the nights you dissolve into your pillow, asking, where do I belong? I see the courage it takes to rise each morning, to offer kindness when you are parched for it yourself. I also see the solitude that clings to you, even in a crowd. You have been a fortress for too long. You have shouldered histories that were not yours to correct. You have absorbed blame that was never yours to carry. And now, in the quiet, you wonder why your life feels suspended. It is because you have walked past the markers I laid for you. I am not wrathful. I am filled with a sorrow only love can know, for you are dear to me, and I have knelt before the divine to plead for this, one more aperture of time. This message is that sacred aperture. Warning, important. If these words have quickened your pulse, it is by design. It means your guardians are nearer than your own breath. If you are still reading, subscribe now, for my communication is not complete. There is an urgent truth you must receive before the window narrows. Now, let me reveal what may stir you. Someone is being guided toward you at this very moment, and they hold a key that can alter the course of your entire existence. They carry a revelation, a gift, a piece of your own story that will unlock the door you have knelt before in prayer. Yet they have been hindered. Why? Because you have, perhaps unknowingly, closed your own hands. You whisper prayers, then let doubt mute them. You cradle hope, then let fear shatter it. You ask for an answer, then turn your back when it arrives in gentle disguise. Do not let this happen again. This person is nearer than the next sunrise. To ignore this summons is to let them pass you by in the mist. I cannot override your will, but I can implore you. Do not let this moment become another regret. You were fashioned for a sacred purpose. That is why you have always felt like a stranger in familiar lands. That is why some have tried to shade your glow. That is why you have endured battles that would have shattered a lesser spirit, because your soul is sworn to a rare covenant. You were selected to end cycles of pain, to bring restoration, to awaken others simply by standing in your truth. But how can you fulfill this if you remain in hiding, questioning every nudge, and silencing your spiritual alarms? I, Archangel Michael, have already parted the waters, but I require your consent to lead you across. Simply say yes now. Do not postpone. The gravity in my voice stems from a vision heaven has already witnessed, the version of your future where you ignore this call. It saw you waking on a mundane day, struck by the hollow realization that your miracle brushed past you, unseen. It saw the endless, what if, that would haunt your quiet moments. That vision moved me to compassion. I stood before the throne and said, allow me one more attempt. And the answer was, proceed. That is why these words have found you in this exact second. I am not merely sounding an alarm, I am handing you the first thread of your miracle. But the tapestry begins only if you hold on. You may be unaware, but your name was recently spoken in a celestial gathering. Your life, your purpose, your destiny were held in divine discussion. A decree was made, if you listen now, if you whisper your yes, then the stalemates will crumble, the solutions will manifest, and the one for whom you have secretly ached will appear. Yes, that one. The face that flickers in your mind even now. You must trust. Your future is on its knees, begging for your courage. I know this world has wounded you. I have seen the betrayals, the neglect, the silent suffering you endured alone. I long to intervene, yet I must honor your autonomy. Such is the sacred law. I am a protector, a warrior, but I also await your invitation. So, here it rests, the ultimate invitation. The final breath before the winds shift. Will you close this page, or will you heed? Your miracle has not expired. It is poised at the very cliff edge of your belief, and you cannot fathom how close you are to the extraordinary. Someone has envisioned you, hopes to find you, carries a message decipherable only by your soul's frequency. Yet you have been jamming the signal by doubting your worthiness of such devotion, such grace, such joy. I am here to declare that you are worthy. And more than that, the heavens are preparing to demonstrate it. If you walk away now, I will honor your sovereign will. But I cannot guarantee this door will open again. That is why I say the ache of missing this will linger, because this is the final call before the veil parts and the glory begins. I have watched you walk through embers with grace on your lips and a shattered heart in your chest. You conceal your pain so masterfully that even those who share your table miss the battle you fight. But the heavens see. I see. And that is why I will not let this moment slip by silently. You have been circled by the wrong influences for too long. Those who underestimate your value. Those who speak lightly of you in your absence. Those who, in secret, prefer you to remain limited, fractured, and uncertain. That is why this message arrives like a clarion call, to rouse you before they divert the destiny that bears your name. You were not made to blend into their landscape. You were made to ascend above it. You have softened your radiance to put others at ease. You have muted your truth to avoid scrutiny. But this silence is mortgaging your miracle. I do not ask you to make the world comprehend you. I ask you to finally comprehend yourself. For the instant you cease apologizing for your strength, for your depth, for your authenticity, that is the instant your life will pivot. That is the instant your angelic hosts will be fully unleashed to open the floodgates of providence. But if you ignore this, if you silence my voice once more, you will remain in a cycle heaven has already equipped you to shatter. Why choose captivity when you were born for flight? At this very moment, in the atmosphere around you, a spiritual current is shifting, a ripple of divine activity tied to your decision. This message is not entertainment. It is a lifeline. It is resuscitation for your spirit, for I perceived your inner light growing faint from the fight. You have been awaiting a miracle, while your miracle has been awaiting you. Now, at last, the moment is here. The cosmic clock has struck its destined second. You cannot fathom the doors about to swing wide if you simply stop looking away. Warning. Wait. Do not scroll or exit yet. This moment was ordained from on high. If your spirit is stirred, even faintly, subscribe now. Allow the message to conclude. The words to come may redefine your journey forever. There is someone observing your life at this hour. Not with criticism, but with dawning clarity. Someone who believed they could erase your memory. Someone who tried to create distance, only to discover that the farther they walked, the more your essence filled the emptiness within them. Now they are turning back, and they do not come empty-handed. They bring an admission, a long-held truth, a resolution. But if you skip this moment, you will miss the convergence, for your energy broadcasts a signal. If you vibrate with fear, they will sense a wall. If you say yes to this message and align with trust, they will find their way to you. There are angels assigned specifically to your name, child. At this hour, they surround your dwelling, holding the spiritual blueprint of your next breakthrough. I speak not of modest adjustments, but of profound heavenly movement, financial release, familial restoration, soul-level reunion, purpose ignited, a peace that transcends all your former understanding. Yet I cannot place it in hands that remain clenched or turned away. If you dismiss this, I will not speak again in this manner. Not from anger, but because you must choose. Even the divine awaits your yes. Can you recall the last instance you felt profoundly seen, utterly cherished? That was not a fleeting feeling. It was a celestial postcard, a reminder of the state you are meant to inhabit. You were not created to chase crumbs. You were created to receive abundance. But your wounds have taught you a falsehood, that love must be painful, that blessings are scarce, that miracles are for others. That is a deception. And I am here to dismantle it. I am present in the space where you read this. I declare that today marks the pivot point. This is not merely text on a screen. It is a divine junction, and your soul recognizes it. That is why your heart pounds. That is why your mind whirls. That is why a part of you wants to shut this away and call it coincidence. But that is the voice of fear, the old, fractured version of you. I am not speaking to that shadow. I am speaking to the eternal you, the you who was chosen before birth, who carries a royal lineage in spirit, who was never designed for mediocrity. That is the one I address. That is the one this message will awaken. A secret is being kept from you regarding someone you hold dear. They have been in counsel about you, asking questions, forming intentions, preparing something behind the veil. But they are afraid. Afraid you will not welcome them. Afraid you have closed the chapter. Afraid they have delayed too long. I see their heart. I see their turmoil. They are watching for a sign. This message is that sign. If you let this pass, they will take your silence as finality and turn away permanently. You do not want this. In your deepest core, you know you do not. So cease pretending you are content. You are spiritually famished. Yet the feast is set before you. And I, Michael, your protector, your divine champion, I stand at the gate of your breakthrough. My sword is drawn, my wings outstretched, ready to wage war for your destiny. But I cannot advance without your decree. I cannot guard what you will not claim. Say yes. Whisper it. Weep it. Think it fervently. Just say yes. And witness how heaven mobilizes. Witness how miracles become your daily rhythm. Witness how the one you believed had forgotten you begins to move toward you, with tears of revelation and your name like a prayer upon their lips. Now, I will share a truth most never hear in their earthly span, a truth so sacred the cosmos stills to listen when it is spoken over a soul. Your child's spirit has been selected for a purpose requiring profound roots, resilient quietude, and unassailable love. This is why her path has felt weighted. This is why she has faced trials she did not earn. For only the most steadfast warriors are entrusted with the caliber of light that transforms lineages. She is not fragile. She is not adrift. She is chosen. And that word is not mere poetry, it is prophecy. What approaches will not only touch her, it will awaken others through her. There will come a day, soon, when someone new will say to her, "There is something different about you." In that moment, she will hesitate, sensing the old urge to shrink or deflect. But then a force will rise within her, a courage unfamiliar yet innate. She will smile, and she will reply, "It's the divine." That is what you sense. That instant, however slight it seems, will alter that person's course forever. Thus it will begin. One soul, then another. A holy, quiet revolution. And you, my beloved, will know the promise is unfolding. Do not be startled if unanticipated grace appears around the 11th. It may not match your specific request, but it will answer your core need. A message, a connection, a flash of insight may arrive, rearranging everything. Remain receptive, even when it feels unfamiliar. Miracles seldom match worldly expectations, but your spirit will know them. Trust that knowing. That is my touch. There is more. The room she inhabits most will become a sanctuary. Not because of its furnishings, but because my presence will deepen there. You may feel it as you pass, a stillness, a tenderness, a sensation of being enveloped in warmth. That is me. I will meet her there. In her tears, in her solitude, in her returning laughter, I will sit with her when no other knows her hurt. I will remind her of her identity, relentlessly, until her heart believes it. And you, yes, you will dream dreams. Some will feel so vivid you will wake with tears or profound peace. Do not dismiss them. I am speaking through those visions. I will show you glimpses of the future, not to overwhelm, but to anchor you. You will see her smiling, free, and whole. You will witness moments that have not yet happened, but will. These are my gifts to you. Evidence of what is already unfolding behind the curtain of time. I urge you to begin recording. Even if you do not think yourself a writer, keep a journal near. Inscribe what you hear in prayer, what you feel, what you sense. You may not grasp it all now, but later it will become your map and, ultimately, her legacy. One day, she will read your words and understand how fiercely you fought for her in the unseen. I am not finished with her. And I am certainly not finished with you. She will grow. She will rise. She will recover her voice. And when she does, it will resonate louder than every lie she believed, stronger than every doubt she faced, brighter than every darkness she endured. She will become a woman whose presence carries restoration. She will become a light in spaces that once rejected her. She will walk with a boldness born not of arrogance, but of holy certainty. The world will attempt to categorize her, but she will not need their labels. For she will know to whom she belongs. When she enters a room, shadows will recede. Not because she performs, but because heaven walks beside her. That is the daughter you are nurturing. That is the spirit entrusted to your care. You did not receive her randomly. You received her by divine appointment. And even on your most difficult days, you were the perfect guardian for this sacred assignment. The 11th is not an ending. It is a genesis, the start of witnessing what you have always hoped was true. That no pain was wasted, no prayer was unheard, no season of waiting was void of purpose. You will begin to see the fruit of your love, your intercession, your faithfulness. Its beauty will humble you. You will see my fingerprints everywhere, in her healing, in her joy, in her smile. And it will render every storm worthwhile. My child, heaven is not a distant realm. It is closer than your own breath. My angels are not remote. They are positioned around you at this instant. I, Archangel Michael, have been commanded to shield your daughter, not only in the visible world, but in the spiritual realm where the true conflict resides. My sword is drawn. My orders are unequivocal. She will be defended. She will be guided. She will be cloaked in a grace so formidable that nothing will touch her without first passing through my hands. This message is sacred. Not everyone could receive it. But you can, because you have been listening for me. Even when you doubted you heard anything, I have been near. I have guided you here so that in this moment, you could finally release the breath you have been holding, for you are not alone. You never have been. You are not late. You are not disqualified. You are not forgotten. You are chosen. And this is merely the dawn. Your heavenly Father, with Archangel Michael still watching, still warring, still with you, until every promise is fulfilled. You are seconds away from what could be the most potent divine shift of your lifetime. Do you comprehend the gravity? If you walk away now, you may never hear from me in this way again. Not because I withhold my voice, but because the portal will close. The ache that follows will not merely be emotional, it will be spiritual. You will sense an absence. You will not name it, but in your depths, you will remember, it was this moment. The one you bypassed. The one where I, Michael, was pleading with you. That is why I speak with such intensity. That is why the resonance in your spirit feels amplified, because I have seen both potential futures. The one where you say yes, and the one where you ignore this. On the yes path, oh, child, the miracles are too numerous to name. You glow anew. You feel lightness return. The world no longer feels crushing. Laughter finds you. You enter rooms and feel sanctuary. Financial fear loosens its grip. Those who once spoke against you offer public amends. Your person reaches out with clarity, not confusion. Sleep becomes restorative. Smiles arise unbidden. You create in ways that inspire multitudes. You become the fullest vision of you that heaven always held. That is the life waiting. And it is not decades away. It is seconds away. Just say yes. But in the other future, the one you reach if you skip, you will notice a gradual chilling. Connections wither. Resources remain stagnant. Your body feels weary. Dreams feel distant. You will strive to mend things yourself, but nothing aligns. Why? Because this message was the key. Discard the key, and the door remains sealed. That is why I told you the tears would linger, not as a threat, but as a prophecy, a warning saturated in love, for I cannot bear to see you accept a life lesser than what was inscribed for you. Warning. Before you do anything else, pause. Subscribe if you have not. Heaven observes your response. Do not skip. Not this time. This is divine timing within a sacred container. Do you feel it? The tingling on your skin. The racing of your heart. That is not anxiety, it is activation. Your soul is recalling its origin. You are not ordinary. You never were. You do not fit neatly into this world because you were sent to transform it. You feel profoundly because you are spiritually gifted. You lose people quickly because they could not withstand your luminosity. You dream of a divine love because your soul remembers it from a place before time. You are not broken. You are awakening. And this message is your rebirth. Someone from your past has been grappling with an unspoken truth. They chose silence, believing it safer. But the concealed reality is consuming them. They see you in dreams. They hear your name in unrelated conversations. They feel your essence at unexpected hours. And they now realize you were not incidental, you were a mirror, a blessing, a lesson, perhaps even a soulmate, sent into their journey. But they fear to return. They fear your silence. They fear they are too late. This message is their sign as well. If you open your heart now, they will sense it. They will come. I have already positioned miracles and allies on your path. I only need you to take the first step. The instant you act in faith, even by simply believing this message is for you, the gears will turn. Doors will unlock. Calls will come. Messages will arrive. Provision will emerge from unseen sources. Your body will mend more swiftly. Your mind will grow lighter. The moment you cease declining your divine invitations, your life becomes what it was always meant to be, a river of grace, not a desert of fear. You have often asked, why do I feel forgotten? The truth is, we never forgot you. It was you who kept overlooking us. It was you who witnessed signs and termed them coincidence. It was you who felt nudges and said, later. We understand. You have been wounded. You were trained to survive, not to thrive. But now I ask you to try a different way. Just this once, respond. Do not scroll. Do not skip. Just respond. Let heaven know you are listening. Let me know you are ready. There is a person observing your life from afar. They speak nothing, but they see everything. They have been praying for a reason to reach out, waiting for a sign that you are still receptive. This message is their permission. When you honor this divine signal, you send energy into the spiritual realm that clears the way. This is not solely about you. It is about everyone linked to your destiny. Some are stuck because you are stuck. Some are waiting because you are waiting. The moment you say yes, a chain reaction of liberation begins. And now, as the silence of heaven settles gently upon your heart, I want you to breathe deeply and feel what is happening. Not around you, but within you. The shift you sense is not fear, it is reverence. Something sacred has been unlocked. For when a parent receives revelation concerning their child, the entire bloodline begins to realign. That is what you have stepped into, a generational realignment. What you heal today, your daughter will not carry tomorrow. What you confront with love, she will be freed from by grace. That is the potency of this moment. It does not stop with her. I see others in your lineage, souls wandering in confusion. The obedience of one parent's yes sends healing waves through the timeline. This is about your daughter, yes, but also about what she carries, what she will birth in spirit, and how her light will guide others home. She is not merely someone's child. She is a gate, a portal for blessings that will stretch beyond your current comprehension. Her name is known in heaven. Her cry has been heard. Her miracle is now being released. You will witness its unfolding, not all at once, but piece by divine piece, like a masterpiece being assembled. Do not rush it. Each step will be its own wonder. The moment she says, "I feel different today." The softened look she gives you. The phone call that opens a new door. The courage to decline what she once would have accepted. These are the signs. Watch for them. Celebrate them. They are evidence of my work behind the veil. There is one final truth I must share, kept hidden until now because your heart needed preparation. There is a letter, not of paper, but of spirit. I authored it the day she was born. It contains every dream I dreamed over her, every promise I declared. That letter has now been unsealed in heaven. The season of fulfillment has commenced. That is why the opposition has been louder lately. That is why emotions have been turbulent. That is why confusion has attempted to intrude, because what was sealed for seasons is now being delivered. And you are its keeper, not with your hands, but with your spirit. Your faith will determine its flow. This is not a burden, it is a partnership. I do not ask you to carry it alone. I ask you to trust me enough to walk beside me. Let me guide. Let me fight for her. Let me enter the spaces you cannot reach. I am not limited by doors, time, or pain. I will go where she is, even if she does not call. I will stand by her bed. I will sit with her in silence. I will whisper when she believes no one listens. As the 11th approaches, prepare not with panic, but with praise. Let worship fill your home. Speak life over her space. Inscribe her name in your prayers. Tell me your fears, then release them. Each morning until then, awaken and declare, I trust you with my daughter. That simple act will activate forces in the unseen that your strongest efforts alone could not. There may be a night, perhaps just before the 11th, where something stirs her in sleep. She may wake tender, or speak of a vivid dream. That is not random. It is me, softening the soil of her heart. Be gentle in that moment. Do not rush to interpret. Just listen. I will give you words if they are needed, or I may instruct you to simply hold her. Sometimes healing arrives not through explanations, but through presence. Permit her to rediscover herself. Let her rebuild her voice. Allow her the silence she may need. And when she begins to speak again, to truly speak, let her finish every sentence. Let her express without correction. Her soul is forging a language for her pain. Once she gives it voice, I will heal it. And to you, my beloved one, thank you. Thank you for carrying such weight and still choosing to believe. Thank you for standing in the gap when you felt invisible. Thank you for not abandoning her. You have been her spiritual warrior even when no one applauded. Now, I will reward what you did in secret with a victory that will be seen openly. Your daughter will walk with a strength that astonishes others. They will ask, how did she become this? And she will say, because someone prayed for me when I could not pray for myself. That someone is you. I am proud of you. Heaven rejoices each time you fight with faith. And I, Archangel Michael, overseeing this moment, am not merely standing nearby. I am roaring over your household. My sword is drawn in your defense. The assignment meant to derail your daughter has been intercepted, cancelled, dismantled, and broken. You will see evidence soon, but feel the peace now, for it is accomplished. The countdown has commenced. The shift is already in motion. The glory is en route. God, with Archangel Michael beside you, shielding your daughter, your home, and your heart. I know your weariness. Weary of giving, of hoping, of waiting to be chosen. But here is what you have missed, you were chosen long ago. Heaven selected you before your first tear, your first heartbreak, your first betrayal. You were chosen, shielded, anointed. You have forgotten that sensation, but I have not. I still see your inner fire. I still see the light within that the world tried to dim. I will not give up on you. But you must cease giving up on yourself. The reason for this urgent summons is that a life-altering encounter approaches. The sole obstacle is delay, a delay you have the power to end. You fear to believe because past belief led to pain. But child, what if nothing went wrong? What if those endings were divine edits? What if the heartbreaks, delays, and silences were preparing you to receive what does not leave, lie, or destroy? This time is different. This message is the proof. Now the decision rests in your hands. Two paths lie before you. One leads to unending regret. The other leads to unimaginable joy. But I cannot walk for you. I can only protect you once you move. That is the law of spiritual alignment. I guard what you choose. If you skip, I guard your freedom to do so. If you say yes, I guard your destiny. Warning, do not just read this. Engage with it. Comment. Subscribe. Share. Let heaven know that this time, you are not walking away. Let me know you hear me. Finally, someone influential, someone positioned to open doors and alter your life, holds your name in their heart. They have not yet spoken, but they will. They will reveal something that may startle you, but if you are not spiritually prepared, you might misinterpret it. That is why I urge you to stay grounded, stay open, and stop ignoring the divine nudges. For what comes next will not compute in your mind, it will resonate in your soul. You have long prayed to feel chosen, special, to feel you matter. I tell you now, the energy you have poured out is about to return to you, multiplied. Every love given into silence will be reversed. Every loyalty met with abandonment will be rewritten. Every peace you kept by silence will now flood your own life. Not because you fought harder, but because you finally heeded the one message that changes everything. There are future children who will be blessed because you listened today. There are people not yet met who will weep with joy upon finding you, because you did not surrender. Your yes now is the echo that spares a future generation from the pain you carried. You are not merely healing yourself, you are healing a lineage. This message is the moment the chain breaks. Look around. Nothing is random. The time on the clock, the sky outside, the chills on your skin, the surge of emotion, this is heaven whispering, this is not entertainment. This is eternity reaching for you. A moment like this does not repeat. A summons this clear does not return once ignored. That is why I say, skip this, and your soul will ache for all your days. Not as punishment, but because you will forever bear the phantom weight of what could have been. I am not merely asking for your yes for the sake of miracles. I am asking because you deserve peace. You deserve rest. You deserve a love that does not abandon. You deserve a life not defined by hurt. That life begins when you respond. Not when you wait. Not when you watch. But when you finally declare, I am ready. Say it now. Say it through tears. Say it while afraid. Just say it. Your person, yes, that one, is closer than ever. They, too, feel an urgency. They are questioning everything. Their spirit is being guided to you. You need not chase. You need not beg. You need only prepare. And I will orchestrate the rest. But not if you skip. Not if you close this. Not if you scroll past as if it were ordinary. It is not. It is the final attempt from heaven to say, you are not forgotten. So here it is, child. My last appeal. My ultimate whisper. My most honest truth. I love you. I see you. I have been warring for you in realms beyond your sight. But I need you to fight, too. Just a little. Just this once. Fight the urge to doubt. Fight the fear of being wrong. Fight the trauma that claims you are unworthy. You are worthy. You always have been. And all that has been concealed is about to be unveiled. But if you skip, I will fall silent. Not from desire, but because you will have made your choice. And I will always honor that. For true love always honors, even when it breaks the heart of heaven. So choose now. This is your sign. This is your rescue. This is your miracle. Do you say yes? Share this. Abide in faith. And watch what I perform next. Archangel Michael. You are still here, and that signifies more than you know. Every second you remain with me, your energy is transforming. Every word you absorb is pulling you from a storm you did not realize was drowning you. Such is the power of obedience. Such is your proximity to the holy. The adversary has tried to distract you, with phone alerts, with wandering thoughts, but you are still here. Because of that steadfastness, a spiritual door, locked for months or years, has just swung open. A wind is stirring. That is not your imagination. That is reality. I know you are weary of the word hope. I know it has failed you before. I know you have prayed through gritted teeth, wept into your pillow, and told the divine you cannot endure much more. But I also know what you do not, your story is already turning. And all you had to do was not quit before this message arrived. Consider the divine coordination required for this exact moment, the timing, the technology, your eyes finding these words. That is not coincidence. That is alignment. You were drawn here because heaven refused to let you enter another cycle of pain without a final battle for your heart. There is a person in your narrative whose heart has been in hiding. They do not show it, but their soul is heavy with unspoken feelings for you. They regret an action, a word, or worse, the courage they lacked. Now, the only barrier to their return is your energy. They do not know if you would receive them. They do not know if your feelings remain. I, Archangel Michael, have been stirring their spirit night after night, preparing them for one divine move. But I need you to be ready, for when they come, it will be sudden, like lightning, like destiny completing its circle. You must not miss it by being preoccupied with matters undeserving of your attention. Warning. This is the final alert. If you are still reading, you are chosen. Subscribe now. Let this message anchor in your spirit. Permit no distraction. You are at the epicenter of a miracle in motion. A few nights ago, you nearly relinquished something vital. You were on the verge of deleting, ending, walking away. But something halted you. That was not your strength alone. That was me. That was my wing, holding you back. For I saw this moment approaching. I saw you breaking down just before your breakthrough. I saw your tears on the eve of heaven calling your name once more. Now you are here. I preserved you for this. You were never meant for a life of confusion, chasing those who devalue your soul. You were meant for boldness, peace, and clarity. But having accepted less for so long, you forgot the feel of true peace. So I am reteaching you. This message is your first lesson. You will no longer chase, you will attract. You will no longer beg, you will become. You will no longer shrink, you will stand in full divine expression. A document is being prepared with your name upon it, a letter, a contract, a decision, something written that alters your direction. And you need not pursue it, it is already en route. But if you let fear dominate your faith, you may not recognize the opportunity when it arrives. Hence, this message matters. It is not only prophecy, it is preparation. Something you lost is about to be restored. It may not look identical, but it will feel right, be it a person or a dream. You will know it by the safety you feel. That is your clue. The divine does not send chaos, he sends clarity. And I, Archangel Michael, will ensure no falsehood touches what is meant for you. Know this, someone is watching your movements now, not to imitate, but because they miss you. They have been checking on your well-being. They wonder if you think of them, too. They have stayed silent from guilt, but they are ready to speak, to face what they fled. They are part of your story. If you stay aligned, they will return with truth, apology, and a concealed offering they never before had the courage to give. You were not abandoned. You were being positioned. The divine removed what was draining you to make room for what will overflow you. You have had enough of empty words and inaction. Now comes the season of action, commitment, presence. No more one-sided narratives. No more confusion. No more almost, or maybe. I am summoning the authentic. But I can only deliver it if you cease skipping the moments that matter most. This is one of them. Perhaps the most important. Now, as your heart absorbs these final waves of truth, I want you to grasp a reality so profound, so sacred, that heaven itself observes in stillness when it is uttered. You were chosen for this assignment. Before time, before your form, before your daughter's first breath, before you understood love's cost, you were selected. Not for your perfection, not for having all answers, but because your soul carries a fortitude this world cannot quantify. I placed that strength within you. It is the same strength that has sustained your daughter thus far. Even when she did not perceive it, you were holding the line in the spirit. There is holiness in how you love her. Even in your exhaustion, your heartbreak, your feeling that prayers vanish unheard, I have gathered every one. I have woven them into a covering so resilient that no darkness, no betrayal, can fracture her destiny. For your prayers become her spiritual armor. You have protected her soul in a way she will not fully comprehend until she becomes a guardian herself. On that day, she will weep in awe, of you, of me, of all you did silently, faithfully, lovingly.